done though. There needs to be some real work done from the damage dealers, and KSF plays an off angle. The wall comes up immediately from Boston to shut down the Deadeye. For a moment, he's got a little bit of time in this position to get some damage done. Looking for the supercharge of Colorhex, chases him now. Sound barrier means the Reaper can be much more confident trying to push in, and KSF misjudges the flashbang. However, on the point though, Fact Fiction and Custer are getting much more work done over on the high ground there. You can see Persia go for the coalescence. This is going to force a fade from Kareev to get out of the action. There is a supercharger down. Persia tries to focus that one down for just a moment, but now he gets sucked in by the Hulk. Still okay, providing that healing, but frozen up means he can't do much.
Kellex is able to contest this, so you see him on top of the drum. One of the hardest spots to get players out of is the Valiant able to make a flip.
Set up. This is going to allow the Boston Uprising to ford the gap and get to the point. That is rude! That's so rude! Stella puts the wall up, but KSF gets nothing from his Deadeye. Fact Fiction supercharger is taken down. Blase sends a self-destruct in. Fact Fiction looks like he didn't have the fortify to prevent him from getting frozen. And looks like Kareev's coalescence wasn't enough to keep the Orisa alive under all that pressure. 91% accounting for the Valiant. They go for the sound barrier here, but they lose agilities, and they're running out a lot of those key pieces. Colorhex will move to the high ground to force down space. And yeah, the Valiant will have to concede for now. Many of these pillars. Here comes the push though. They want to get aggressive. KSF's going to try and sit in the background with the Dead. Oh, we got Stella, and the Blizzard got eaten. Yes, not to mention Agility's lost his to Blase, but getting rid of that May is pretty big. Now the fight can continue. Colorhex went straight on in. He actually tried to go for a death loss immediately. He got stunned up. Still gets KSF. Now to return back to the point. Agility's just trying to shut down Colorhex, make it more dangerous for him to try and push past that Orisa barrier. Working off the statue there. Wall goes up. They actually caught fusions off, but they're not looking for the Orisa right now. It's space! 3 kills on the Diva. We talked about him in the pre-game, and he shows up in a big way. With a mini Diva down to Blase, it's not looking good for the Uprising, and the Valiant really punctuate their point in quite an explosive manner. Some stall now from Stella as he moves up onto the point of Sombra. The rest of the Uprising are too far away. And I think it's safe to say that space saved the round for the Valiant there.
Oh, without a doubt is. Boston, you know, when both Blizzards get eaten,
it's when the shields are down is when KSF can actually find these shots. And everyone's getting healed up. Oh, Colorhex has fell, but Agilities gets him. It's time for the sound barrier now. Another barrage from Agilities. That's 2 in 2 fights. He'll get Persia with that one and pressure the shield down enough for the Valiant to push in. On this second attempt, they will be successful in taking control of the point. I tell you what, tough to crack that nut that was the Boston Uprising. Now they'll switch their comps, Boston.
Well, now you like the Valiant comp with the Widowmaker when you have control of the point.
And do essentially have to switch the mindset between attack and defense every time you approach the point.
Another barrage here for Agilities as well. See if he's able to land a big one. Goes around the backside here. So Blase gets taken out before he gets remaxed. So he actually thought about using the barrage there, holds onto it.
But now Agilities has to be that much more careful. Boston still want to play in the corner. This time they had the McCree to make a little bit riskier for the far. Kareev though. Oh, Kareev gets himself 3. It opens up with a bionic grenade, and he just goes absolutely ham. Put that one in Doa's bloodthirsty supports. Fusion's now going to get cut down, and the Valiant, they're back in control.
They flipped the point there for a second, but let's see this from Kareev's point of view. Bionic grenade comes down. Still hit by it, just landed the shot.
Sit down. Again, Agilities in a decent position to get some charge. Colorhex has fell before the Uprising can get to the point. There's no mercy in the game. They're down to 5. Blizzard over the point to create a bit of space here, and Agilities forced to try and get away there. Oh, very timely ice block there from Stella. Yeah, but it may not matter.
I mean, once the McCree dies, what do you have to contest this Farah? You're playing look, you're playing Blase, who's a damage dealer on the Diva. It's going to be very difficult for him to track a Farah as good as Agilities. His Colorhex will get on the point. You have Kellex coming back here, but it's looking really good for the Valiant.
Kellex tried to boot Kareev there. No dice. Here comes the power driver. In fact, Fiction sits safe and unperturbed behind the shield. KSF trying to find the pick here. He knows there's been a fade forward by them. More of it, but Persia can't get much done. That supercharge is doing a lot of work here. It's pretty tough for Boston to try and retake. Colorhex is off to the side there. You can see him on the tracer. He'll go in for a dip his toes in the water, but he's not going to be allowed. Map 1, LA Valiant.
The Valiant really dominated on point 2. Point 1, rather close, goes down to the wire. Could have gone either way, but Space hits a big self-destruct. That second point, though, is the far up from Agilities that really came up big.
He's got to go down the stairs and don't wait fusions. Let sleeping hamsters lie, perhaps. Stella with a hack on space. That makes life a little bit hard for the Roadhog now. Can't take a breather. Bionic grenade thrown in as well. Nothing really going right for space here. Pressured down by everybody. Somehow we're still staying alive though. In fact, Fiction saves the day. He drops in with a pile driver. Stella's missing. KSF has gone down, but in fact, Fiction looks like he just wants to try and defend the point for as long as he can now. Buy some time for reinforcements, and what a blase is going on. 2 kills for the D.Va on Boston, and definitely asserting himself. But that is nasty. The whole hog, the push away, and Colorhex has to limp to safety.
With agilities, right? You can get Valkyrie off, heal everybody up. Kareem can get a nano of his own. They're going to go for the EMP. Custa does get Valkyrie off.
Yeah, both Fire and the Mercy do get connected. Colorhex goes in, agilities is down, despite the Valkyrie being in play. Custa was almost flying into the sun. Fact Fiction could be in trouble. Blase tries to knock him off the map, and Colorhex dashes in, finds the finish. There wasn't enough time for KSF to hack the Genji. But on the point, Space gets a nano boost here, but that bionic grenade is a little bit more concerning. He's going to try and play safe for the time being, which is frustrating. He wanted to get value out of the damage boost. Now he's hacked though. Needs to rely on the healing of Custa. Colorhex gets nano boosted this time, and he doesn't have a blade. He doesn't need it. A little bit more durability goes a long way here. Now wants to pressure Kareem down, and without fusions, but Fact Fiction and agilities are on the point. Colorhex blocks the last little bit of the barrage and sends agilities packing, but Space is in. What is going on in this fight? Now it's going to be Space and Fact Fiction trying to hold on to the point. It's going to be tank line here. Space doesn't take a breather here, needs to use it immediately. Trying to pressure down the wrecking ball and get Blase out of the mech, and that's a good start. Now it's going to be fusions versus Fact Fiction on the point. Minefield is thrown down, going to buy a little bit of space and time for the rest of the Valiant to get back, but not enough of either, perhaps, as the Uprising. They push through and take point A.
And once you lose Blase,
good night, sweet prince.
I feel for this guy.
Hold. D-Matrix. Sleep again. Mate,
I see his face on the stage. On stage, he's just like, there's literally nothing I can do. This is an incredible stagger by the way.
You can't do my homie like this! I think you can heal your opponents. You can make that even worse. Agilities going aggressive now. Force the fade out of Moira. Persia now is a little bit less safe. Misses the rocket punch here. Doesn't matter. Fact Fiction holding the fort down, getting rid of fusions first. That Discord orb from Customer, setting up the kills for Fact Fiction. Defensive self-destruct, back at the point. Space! What a big brain on that guy. Sends it back to the point because he knows the Boston Uprising, they had to step on it. He gave them no choice and they knew it was a lose-lose. Discord orb on fusions will send him packing, and the Uprising gonna have to settle for just point A being captured at this stage. Not much to be done. Stella will sneak on there invisible. Custer wondering why the heck the point. The round hasn't ended yet. Now he knows.
Custer's all smiles on the stage, you see. He's having to bust his Zen out. He's like, why not?
Give me more Custer Zen.
Yeah. TP to the point, turn around, set up.
Completely busted on live, by the way, with the beam changes.
Oh, look at this. They use a main wall and teleport to the high ground.
Oh my gosh. That's filthy. Space getting rid of Colorhex early just makes things even worse for the Uprising. KSF's going to be hitting really hard after spending some time on that shield fusion. Melted! Still alive, but only for just a moment.
I was going to say, you start getting the primary fire on some of these barriers, and you can just start chunking players down. I mean,
oh gosh! Somebody stop this guy! Oh, and the plasma cutter is unleashed on the Boston Uprising. This isn't a CNC mill, this is an Overwatch game! But I do think that they want to force the Uprising to fight on the point. Here goes the self-destruct over the top. Space. Wall gets thrown up to try and prevent anyone from getting safely back towards this spawn and Blase. He's a popsicle right now. We'll find in just a moment, but fusions, well, I can't say the same for him. He's able to get away with the use of Fortify, try and get back and respawn and heal up. That might actually work. He's going to hang around and take the fight versus agility. Stella takes down Fact Fiction. The Uprising looking much better on defense here. Blase, yes, he'll be taken down. Stella's pretty safe though. He can try and chase Custer. Immortality field now being deployed as Kellex comes back out on the Batiste.
Well, Kellex gets a really good use out of Ant Matrix use.
Here we go, Supercharger laid down. Kellex taken out. That was the problem for the Valiant in the previous fight. This might be where they begin. Agilities wants to wrap around the side. He's going to run into Arnie here, but thankfully, Persia has no time to pay him any attention. Here comes the Blizzard. Persia frozen and taken down. It is going to be a Blizzard coming out from Stella though, but he went down before the fight really started, and there it is. The Valiant finally come up with the answer. It was a switch to Widowmaker, play off the Supercharger, find the first pick, and find the map win. It's 2-0 for your Los Angeles Valiants.
That is all KSF there to be able to take it. When he switches to Widow, you're relying on him to get a pick off. to spin the fight in your favor at the beginning. He gets one right away on a Kellex. No immortality field available. None of that extra damage that Batiste provides. And the Valiants are able to take the point. You know what Huck did at halftime? He just started to play some sideshow bots. And he was like, Persian, this is what we need you to do.
The last thing we need is people encouraging him more.
We need you to get on the flank. And it opens it up, though. Why not?
Astonishing! Persian just straight chilled. Yo, we got the sands of time. Prince of Persia just turning it back. All right, Stella, what do you got? Wall up here. No, the Blizzard straight away. There comes the wall later, looking to separate them out. Fact Fiction down early. Immortality field, though, very timely for the Valiant. They're able to shrug off most of that damage. And here comes the amplification matrix. Walls up, Dragon through, Color Hex. Catching Custom, Batiste could not get away. Vertically, he's got good mobility. Horizontally, not so much.
Towards getting point B. The Valiant will try and fight this, though.
Dragon Strike. To force the Uprising out of the way. Those health bars are looking a little low, though. Amplification Matrix essentially shut down, but the payload's getting there! And the Valiant let it happen!
It's not good for the Valiant. Like we saw at the beginning, the Boston Uprising have not won this map. And they are making it look easy thus far against the LA Valiant.
In fact, Fiction's seen better days. He's a little low. He's actually taking a Sonic Arrow now. Space trying to push forward or stave off the aggression from Boston. He's knocked into the stratosphere. Here the Blizzards come down. Immortality field there. Blase go for the hook. After it gets unfrozen, gets caught back, goes for the take a breather. Here comes the Dragon. And it is the Uprising coming out on top here. The trades are looking good, and KSF, well, he's probably been in his own head ever since the Zenyatta incident.
They may not even get Fusion back in the fight as he's coming off the spawn, but they may not even need it, the supercharger to push it on through. That'll be a contest that comes in late here from Fact Fiction.
Immortality field, how annoying! Agilities has to get rid of it first. Amplification Matrix is not enough. Space, it was off the card.
Through it. Color Hex on the flank though, takes out KSF, trying to even this up.
Wall from Agility. Stella was able to get on top of it though. He now goes into Ice Block. Agilities tries to prime his endothermic blast. He is with KSF as well. Stella guns him down. Custer's Immortality field is removed. Kellex has one now. That is gone. Color Hex just getting those storm arrows into space and not a thing the Roadhog could do about it. The cherry on top here for Color Hex as he chases Kareem.
And we highlighted this matchup in the pregame on these heroes, these two players, Color Hex and KSF. And on this map, specifically in that Hanzo battle, Color Hex has definitely gotten the better of KSF. They're able to use it as you would want. If both superchargers come down, that'll be a Color Hex Dragon Strike through the wall.
KSF finds the kill, but Persia was already able to do damage, getting rid of that Immortality field and Fact Fiction. A very deep amplification matrix as well. See where it's placed. Valley maybe weren't able to really do too much with that one. They still want to chase Blase though. Stella's got to be an issue in and of itself. Wall comes up. Agilities realizes it needs to be dropped. And the Valiant now can just apply spawn pressure. They get the point, but Matt, their time bank is not going to look all that rosy.
That Transcendence pretty much puts you in the same spot. Stella will use his Blizzard. This will be Transcendence from Kareem. So no one keep everybody alive.
No one really gets caught by that one at all. The Transcendence was good, but the only player that was inside the Blizzard was Fact Fiction, and that was voluntarily. They have lost Agilities. Oh, Fusions! Oh, it's the Discord or Kareem takes care of business himself. And now in Fact Fiction getting it done in the main. It's going to be Blase having to flank around now with that whole hog. He gets rid of that Immortality field, but that will be all. It used to be a meme, now it's a real thing. Blase going down first. Stella needs to try and get some use here. Outside of this air matrix, Blizzard thrown down. They're going to go for it. Kellex's Immortality field is removed. Color Hex is looking very low, and so is Persia in the back, but no one's really there to follow up on him. Space going forward. He can't take a breather while he's using whole hog.
Stiller Blizzards here? Okay. That was everybody did. He decided Blizzard towards the end. Probably would have liked that one.
Shield thrown up here. Hulk forks to come. Fact Fiction, he gets eaten for dinner. And now, I mean, the Valiant have to double down. They have no choice but to try and commit to this fight, but Space can't find a target. That amplification matrix gets very little value, and here comes the double dragon. Blase finds two whole hog to start it off. And the Boston Uprising, nicely done from them. A fantastic attack followed up with an absolutely solid defense. And they will keep their heads above water, they will stay alive, and the Fuel and the Eternal look on. And they also are pleased.
Boston gets the map win there, which is great for Paris and Dallas. In terms of their playoff chances, it's a really strong map from the Boston Uprising. You see the guys on Boston just much lighter moods on the stage. They know they have a chance now in this series.
Oh, it's the Farah spawn camp.
Oh yeah, this is something we've seen a bunch of teams do. That becomes really difficult to get out of this position. Maybe ColorX goes with them again. Jump shots. All right, yeah. Just casually just doing that.
Unbelievable ColorX, what an opener! Oh, and it's safe to say the Uprising are out of the gates and flying.
King's Row. Now we can take a look at the opener in goes back to Suda. Look at this.
I'm assaulting the payload.
They're so unreasonable! Maybe it happens here. Wall comes up, Stellar via agilities. That's been the headline matchup in the main role.
Heart's going right in.
Yeah, Kellex almost gets it there. Now comes an Immortality field out, but agilities didn't get the memo. He wasn't there in time. And the Valiant are not looking good for them right now. Kareem has to take refuge now, back towards, away from the point, and yeah, they walk it in.
This isn't good for the Valiant.
Not a good start at all.
No, they got rolled on King's Row.
Getting the Valiant's head, they definitely need some mental fortitude right now. KSF, you're being hunted. Hex opts not to commit to that one. Fact Fiction goes down here. KSF goes for yet another stab at it, but Hex has a Sonic Arrow inside that room. He's gonna get pushed now. Nano Boost here on space to try and do some work. What does Space do now? He kind of just sits around on the ground awkwardly, waits for his next cooldown, and the Valiant are getting cut to pieces.
Look at how much progress the cart's making.
Still going, but it's never stopped.
The cart is not stopped.
Oh, mate, it was all smiles in map 2 now. It looks like sharp words being exchanged.
You can see Custa and Fact Fiction on stage. Like, if you've played in like tournaments before, you can tell when people start to talk really fast and like animated, and it's really the only like major coming out like us. Pick off there on the Blase. That's not good there for Boston. They're gonna Blizzard right away.
Oh,
they get a pick on a Kareem.
Perfect timing. Just as the Valiant was starting to get aggressive, the Uprising bait them into it. It's sloppy from Los Angeles to try and go aggressive after that. And they walk straight into the Blizzard, not looking good now.
That is probably not intentional there from the Uprising to get first picked off first, but they have an advantage there. They use the Blizzard. They catch the poking out a little too far.
Just space. It's just him. D-Suiter onto the point. Supercharges there. Fusions. Mows KSF down as he tries to step up. Big mistake, Los Angeles. Back here could be good. That's a go. I mean, not a lot of subtlety about that one. It is going to force the Uprising to make a positional change, but the other Dragon gets agilities, and I mean, you would have thought maybe you try and
then
Transcendence has to be used. I mean, you're going to lose Kareem there if you don't go for it. You have to put your eggs in this basket. Hold, hook, space caught, and Matrix. This is nasty! He gets completely cut down, but KSF was able to find fusions. This is an absolute fiesta right now. But the Valiant looks like this is where they're more comfortable. KSF gets Color Hex on the drive-by. And the Valiant have 4.5 minutes to go. I mean, it's not...
Fusions makes it out, but
it's only
he split off
though.
of the rest of the team. They make quick work of Fusions in the Supercharger. The Matrix lay down here too, so you're going to be able to get this clean up. If you're the Valiant, and you're going to be able to get point B.
Oh, it's an honest day to work for KSF off the farm. And he's dropping the twinings.
They're going to be able to do this, though. They have a Blizzard. They're going to have Transcendence as well. Full hog.
What if they can't get out?
Able to come out.
What if they can't get out?
They should be at least able to just jump on the card here and fight this. But
okay,
they are getting pushed back, though, by the whole hog.
Fact Fiction's going to walk out of this one. Space does get frozen, though, and Custer sitting in the background. Amplification Matrix goes up. Space, Custer finds Color Hex. The Matisse in the background getting it done. Fact Fiction needs to be healed up, though. The Valiant need to keep the pressure on. And they do. Persia is down. Stella has to come across the face and forced into an early ice block. He needs to get to the safety of that shield. Blaze's low. He's in a 1v1 against Kareem. He heals up, and KSF is felled by Color Hex at range. Here it is, the Dragons trying to clean it off, but the Boston Uprising. They hang on. Shall I describe it to you, or shall I get a box? It's like Helm's Deep all over again. KSF, there's the first pick. Dragon strike into the low room here. Fusions is forced to step out, and he's so low on health. No one's going to help him. The Blizzard comes. Maybe it's a little bit too late, though. Supercharger has been removed to Blase. Now it's time. He's going to go with the whole hog. Not enough. He's cut down now. Space gonna try and ride this one home. Kellex approaching tentatively now at the Matisse. There's a whole hog here for Space though. He needs to nail this one. It has to be perfect. Here it goes. Kellex pushed away. He's down. Persia, will he fall as well? He will. Kareem finishes off with a headshot. That's a hook from Space. One more now. Blase needs to be dealt with. He's out of the mech. And he's removed. Payload sailing home with the Valiant. They keep the dream alive. His fusions is also looking pretty average. Space gets hooked in as Blase. Sorry, they got hooked in. Kareem's down though. No Zenyatta right now for the Valiant. They have to get it done without him. Blizzard now in the backline. It's gotten Persia. Kellex, he can't get out of it either. The backline of the Uprising is frozen solid. And the Valiant get it done. They push and they will have another checkpoint. What a huge fight. What a huge Blizzard from Agilities. Blizzard thrown down on the payload. Fact Fiction looks like he will be frozen. But so is Blase. He's down. The Valiant don't care about the Blizzard. They fight their way through it. Thermal underwear is a heck of a garment. Space finding two. And the Valiant train ain't stopping at this station.
Oh, they're going to keep this going.
The Uprising.
Do they even challenge?
They realize they can't.
No.
They have to back away, surely. They give it up. And the Valiant another checkpoint. And this is an overtime push for the ages.
Fuel and the Paris Eternal looking on, and they are not happy with this.
Supercharger. Evocation Matrix off on the right side by Custer. Wall goes up and Fusions goes down. The Valiant march on. And the Uprising cannot get a foothold. They're backsliding right now. And things may have already gotten too far out of control to save.
There's no way they get a full map completion here, right? I mean, that would be
unprecedented
unreal.
For any amount of time. The round will essentially end there. They've lost Custer. They need
Huge.
to get it done with just 5. Fact Fiction, big damage from the Dragon Strike. He has to hide behind the payload. Colorhex getting rid of Kareem here and he'll drop behind. Try and finish off a couple more of these kills and it's sad to say for Valiant fans. But that's where their run ends.
It is an unreal run though.
Agility's playing safe here. I mean, you would think he would, given what happened to him before. Colorhex, ooh, it's a hop, skip, and a jump inside. Oh, he's done it again! Can you believe it?
You gotta take that risk though for the Valiant. Besides,
Those two are going mental. So let's see how this goes.
yeah, another jump shot. That one much clean, easy. I don't want to say easier.
It's easier for us mere mortals to perceive. Yeah, flakes around. Knows a Roadhog was there. There's too much threat. Fusions also very low on health. There's Stella. It's a 1-for-1 trade though. Fact Fiction is down. The Valiant now need to do it without a shield of Blase. No, he forces him out of the way, but it's still overtime. It doesn't matter. They got the checkpoint. It doesn't matter at all. The Valiant don't care. The door's open, and the way is clear for the Valiant to keep making their way to our playoffs. The Uprising make it interesting as ever, but that's the advantage you have when a 7th player is on the field.
In a must-win game, the Valiant come up clutch towards the end. And, at halftime, it didn't look like it was going to be a close series. Boston really fought the second half, just not enough towards the end.
We went back and fell forth a little bit, but I have to say from map 1 through map 4, Space again was dominant and a very important inclusion. We saw KSF really step up, especially in the last map for this guy. That 3K was what really saved map 1.
Yeah.
That was the big one.
Really strong Diva play, and then I think the Roadhog play in the second half of the series, especially at the end of Havana. He was able to pick off a few players, a few big whole hogs. I think you get as far as like he gets you Space in terms of like how he plays in the off-tank role. Like I think you look, KSF and Agilities can be up and down in terms of damage dealers performance, very inconsistent. The only person you really, you look at Space and Kareem as the 2 players game in and game out that have big games for the Valiant. You needed him to step up in the second half of the series and he did.
Yeah, I mean, when you can rely on your flex support and your flex tank to be solid, then you're definitely on your way. But looking ahead, I kind of alluded to it a couple moments ago. The Valiant can essentially secure their spot in the playoffs tonight. It won't be by their own power. The Hunters need to lose to the Outlaws in our last game of the day.